Would you like a free house? Well, unless you're an asylum seeker, I've got some bad news. Because it says that the government are looking to buy empty homes to house asylum seekers. And it's just one of those things that I just don't understand what the government are doing. Because they made that pledge when they first came into power. Labour said that they were going to reduce the use of hotels to house these people. They're going to reduce the use of hotels. Now they do this. What is wrong with these people? They're sick, aren't they? They really are sick. In our country in 2025, to give people that have never paid taxes their entire lives, to give them free houses. It's something that the Conservatives did, and it's something that Labour's doing. So this is a situation that is going to continue on for years. And it says under the proposed plan, councils, and it's not, they've done this before. They spent over £1 billion on migrant houses. So it's not just a proposed plan. But it says that councils across the country will work with the Home Office to purchase or lease vacant homes, as well as former tower blocks and student residences and old teacher training colleges. And there's a couple of things in that to break down, right? So when I mentioned before, that was called the Local Authority Housing Fund. And I think they did 3 rounds of £500 million. I'll have to double check. But that was the Conservatives, and they put all of that money into housing migrants. Now, pretty much the exact same thing. And with the vacant homes as well. They try and make it sound like a positive spin. You know, these homes are vacant. Well, put a British person in, do you know what I mean? Not even a homeless guy. Make them pay, you know, but there's people looking for rental properties right now. And they just, I don't know, pretend that there's no demand for it. They think they look at them like spare homes. But they're really honestly not. There's people quite literally queuing for spare houses right now. And it says that these properties will be transformed into medium-sized sites to accommodate dozens of asylum seekers. And what you got to think about that, right, is that you could be quite literally living next to, you know, 6, 12 migrants just next door to you. God forbid the next door is, imagine that, some sort of, I was going to call it a sandwich, but it's more of a naan bread type situation. You'll just be naaned in between two. You'll just be naaned in between 2 sets of migrants. That's probably the terminology they would use, wouldn't it? They wouldn't call it a set. I think that's what they would say. And you'd probably have no say in the matter either. You know, you imagine you bought your property like 15, 20 years ago. Now you imagine what it's going to do to the value when half the planet move in next door. You know, Sudanese Steve, Libyan Larry, Kenyan Kevin. Just a whole lot of them just pushing the value down. So like I said, the government are very generous people. You know, they're giving away billions. But as I also said at the start, they're giving none of it to us. And if you enjoyed this daily Clown World video, then I'd highly recommend to check out this one, where an MP asked a reasonable question about migrants, and the answer that she's got, it really is concerning.
This country has gone crazy.